Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah if you're new here. If not, thanks for coming back and watching another video. Today we are going to be in the garden, so I'm going to start with giving you a bit of a garden overview, and then I have three projects, well really two projects in weeding that I'd like to get done today. We'll see if that happens. The reason why you haven't seen me much before last week's video is because I threw out my back in early May. I've started PT now as of yesterday, so I'm a little bit sore and I don't want to push it too much. But hopefully we can get a couple projects done without me pushing myself too hard. So I have run to the Home Depot and gotten what I think I need to protect the strawberries from the bunnies and the squirrels, because we haven't been able to get any strawberries for a while. Because they've just been eating them. My husband right now has a kind of a cloth draped over them, you'll see. So I don't know if I just want to put the cloth higher up so it doesn't smother them, because it's a pretty fine mesh on it, or if I actually want to do like a chicken wire situation. I have chicken wire, we will use it for other things if we don't use it for this, so that's not a big deal. And then I also have a tomato plant where when I planted it, I just had a trellis left. I didn't have a tomato cage. So I also have stakes to get some more support for that tomato plant and some twine to tie it and essentially make a tomato cage out of the trellis. So those are the two projects that I want to do. And then if I can get some weeding in, we'll definitely weed the strawberries because there's a few prickly ones in there that I don't want the kids getting into. But other than that, the other bed actually needs some weeding. We'll see what we can get to. Let's take you around so that you can see the current progress of the garden. All right, y'all, we're gonna start over here. So obviously this needs to be weeded, but I'm mostly just showing you this because these are the lantana that I planted for my husband last summer when he was in Italy. And I was a little bit concerned that they weren't going to come back, but as you can see, this one is coming back quite well, and this one has started to grow, and you can see at the bottom here it's spreading a little bit, so that is very encouraging to see. But even if I do get to weeding today, we're not going to weed this. It's not too bad, and that's easy to do like while I'm watching my kids play in the front. So let's go back over here. The lavender, the squirrels and the bunnies definitely got the seeds. Nothing is happening here, absolutely nothing. So I should probably take the sign out, but I still think it looks pretty. Maybe I'll get some more lavender seeds and try it again, or I'll just have to figure out something else for this bed. The mint is doing really well. I am looking forward to having some mint lemonade sometime soon, and it just smells so good. Here, smell it. It's so good. Okay. Let's go over here. See, this is one of those prickly weeds that I need to get rid of if I can, but it's hiding the rosemary sign. But this rosemary, I am so impressed. About 5 hours after I planted this thing, my son stepped directly in the middle of this plant. I don't know if you can see down here, but it split into like 4 pieces. But it's been growing great. It just kind of spread out and then grew up. So that is super exciting. We have been using this when we have cooked, so I'm happy about that. The oregano is going wild here. It's actually kind of starting to focus. Does that trick work? Ooh, it did. To bud. So I've cut off some of the buds and just put them down here. But that is growing well. We've also been using this in our food. The basil's looking excellent. We've recently gotten a bit of rain last week, so that was super nice. There's the sign. So that's super nice. I've been eating the basil in just regular sandwiches, which is super delicious if you've not tried that. And also just tearing it up and putting it on top of pizza. Once the tomatoes come in, I will also be slicing up tomatoes and putting them on top of the pizza for kind of a margarita pizza. All right, the thyme is doing great. We've been using that in cooking a lot. Here's the turtle I still haven't named yet. If you have any ideas for names for this guy, please put it down below. He's super sweet. All right, let's see how the blueberries are doing. So this is the blueberry bush that we weren't sure was going to make it, but decent number of blueberries this year. We'll cut off the scraggly dead bits for next year. But yeah, some of the blueberries are starting to turn. These blueberry bushes have had blueberries on them for quite some time. Ooh, look at that one. It's really starting to turn now. So most of the blueberries are still pretty green. And this one has loads. I'm a little concerned that they're just kind of like lying on the ground there. But there's loads there, loads over here. Unfortunately, this rose bush keeps coming back, but it's too late for me to like cut it out without being worried about damaging the blueberries. But look at that, beautiful. Oh, there went a bird. All right, more blueberries. These guys are looking great this year. I'm so glad they've recovered. And let's see, what else do we have going on here? We got some more of the prickly weeds. That's what the weeds look like when they flower. But my husband has some peppers going on over here. I think he might plant some of these in the ground. So there's a jalapeno. Ooh, this one looks nice. It's a nice jalapeno. I think these up here are habaneros. Oh, no, that one's a jalapeno as well. Is it? Yes. I was gonna say it looks like a jalapeno. The jalapenos and habaneros look pretty different. But you can see some starting to grow at the top here. So these must be the habanero plants with the kind of more ruffly leaves at the top. Yeah, I bet these two are this end habaneros. It's almost fall. This end jalapenos. All right, let's get down here without stepping on any plants. So these, I just got these bamboo plant stakes because they're cheap and I figure they're gonna do the job. But you can see my husband just had these short stakes in the garage and he's got this like fine mesh over the top. Lots of prickly weeds here, so we will do that. These are kind of tucked under the landscaping stone. So let me see if I can pull this up a little bit and give you a sneak peek under. But our strawberries do have the pink flowers on them and they're doing pretty well. We just, oh, I don't want to rip that too bad. We just haven't been getting any strawberries because the animals have been getting them. All right, my gardenia bush doing amazing. I'd like to get that vine out of there though. Look at how beautiful that is. They smell so good. I wish you guys could smell through the phone. Wonderful. All right, here we are onto our tomatoes. Guys, these are my Roma tomatoes. Look at that. Got one growing there. Got plenty of spots where they're gonna start growing. And we have some over here. This is the biggest one so far. And these tomato plants smell delicious as well. So I'm super excited. The Romas are my favorite. Let's see if we can tuck that guy up a little bit. No, he's not wanting to. All right. The middle one here is like the beefsteak tomatoes. He's kind of escaping his bounds here too. But this is my husband's favorite. I don't know that any of them have started growing yet. But you can see here, they're going to start. We got plenty of flowers. Like there, they're gonna start growing. And then this guy, I'll scoot back. You can kind of see how far he's hanging out here. This is the one that I put on the trellis. And this is, I think it's called Early Girl. Yeah, sorry, you can't really see the sign down there. Early Girl. But I thought they were gonna be cherry tomatoes, or like a grape tomato, a small tomato size. But you can see here, I think maybe they're just gonna be more of like the tomato on the vine size that you get in the grocery store. But there's one there, that one started. The ones in the middle here. Is this just laying on top of it? Yes. Sorry. Trying to get you guys a good view of this while not damaging the plant. But these guys are tucked in here. Look at that guy. He's getting big. And he's got some more behind him. So this is the guy that we're going to be working on putting some stakes in the front and kind of making more of a tomato cage for him. All right, over here, ooh, there's some kind of wasp or bee or something. But look at how well the carrots are doing. We had one carrot when we planted carrots last year. So yes, this also needs to be weeded. I kind of weeded it enough to make sure that the carrot plants were going to grow decently. Some are looking stronger than others. And then in the back here, kind of running into the carrots, this kind of net looking stuff, that's chamomile. So that's really the part that I want to weed if I can get to it. But look, we have some zinnias. Look guys, they're blooming. So this one had just started to bloom. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm gonna have to bring my daughter over here because we've been waiting for this one to pop open for a little bit. The buds start off looking like that. And then they kind of open a little bit. Focus, please. Sorry guys, I suck at this. Look like that a little bit. And like that, and then love the little yellow bits in the center there. So we have a lot of these growing up. That's super exciting. And then over here is the calendula. I haven't seen any buds on these yet. Lots of bugs though. No buds on these yet. So we'll just have to wait, just like there's no buds on the chamomile. But I think the chamomile really does need to be, these weeds have kind of taken over, so I need to clear those out so they can get some more sun. But that is what's going on in the garden right now, our messy garden. So let's get started with sorting out this guy now that it looks even worse now that I grabbed it. I need to go grab some gloves because I forgot to grab those, and I will get you guys set up on a tripod. Be right back. All right, folks, in case any of you are new to the channel, you may be wondering why I'm wearing long sleeves and pants, and that's because some of this stuff's prickly, and we have lots of mosquitoes in the yard, and I am particularly juicy to mosquitoes. That's such a bad word. Attractive would have been the word I was looking for. Gosh, particularly attractive to mosquitoes for some reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull these weeds that are kind of in the way of where I want to work. Normally I have a bin with me. Like I said before, I hurt my back, so I can't really carry too heavy of stuff. So I'm just gonna make a little pile and kind of do the less efficient, bring the pile back to the bin. But let's go ahead and get some of this cleared out so I can just work without being poked to death here. These are really pokey on the top, but oops, ouch. Only have leather on the palms of these. And this stuff isn't pokey, but it's just kind of in the way. Looks like my husband maybe mowed yesterday. That was nice of him. I will have to thank him for that. Guys, I'm really bad. I don't know if it's like having ADHD or if it's just like part of my personality, but I really, on this side, where I am right now, the yard does grow quite well because it's wet over here. This is like where things drain to. But in general, I don't notice small changes. So I couldn't tell from the road that my husband mowed this side yesterday. And he usually just does one side at a time. But it makes me into not the most sensitive of people. So I will have to remember to text him, thank you for mowing. All right, I don't want to pull these guys down, so let's go ahead and get them off the top here. If I can. Go ahead and pull this guy out for good measure. All right, let me go up in the bed so I don't hurt myself. All right, be free. Get these prickly guys back here. Ouch! Dang it. Even through the leather. They are very pokey. Ouch. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't still on my thumb. Okay. Ooh, ouch. It actually feels like it still is. They're really tiny, so it's hard to tell. Well, that's gonna suck. I can't see it. Oh, is that it right there? I was gonna say, but I sure as hell can feel it. Don't break off. Sorry guys, super thrilling content here. Please don't make me go and get tweezers. Do not want to do that, but I'm going to have to. Stand by. Oh, this smells so good where I'm right next to it. All right. Ooh, see, very prickly. Get out of there. There's another prickly one down here. Sorry, with the cloth on it like that, you guys can't really see that much, but ooh, there's a really big prickly one growing back here too. Darn it. Look at that one. Wonder if I can see where this vine comes and just take care of it when I'm here. Oh, it goes closer to the front. We'll get that later. All right. Let's get this off. Oh, it's still tucked here. There we go. All right. More of these prickly guys. Bane of my existence right now. So yeah, even gloves, I got pricked by that, which I definitely don't want happening to the kids. These are just some other weeds. I think maybe that cloth cover will work and I won't have to mess with doing any chicken wire. I think these stakes are just too small, but they were what we already had. And now we have some new growth on the strawberries. I was gonna say, that doesn't look right. Let's not pull the strawberry out. Here it is. All right. Everywhere. Gosh, these guys are such a pain. And it's really hard to pull them out all the way by the root. Like they break off before you can get the root off. Another one. There we go. Let's see. Now how well you guys can see that. All right. It's another one kind of stuck in the middle there. Look good. Happy to see all these flowers coming back, but you can see they've even just like bitten the flowers off. They haven't even waited for the strawberries to grow before eating them. Come on now. There we go. Ooh, that one I got by a bigger part of the root. That's happy. Geez, it's even more over here. I was about to put my bum there to pick the other ones on this side of the bed, but let's get rid of these first so I don't get poked through my pants. Nasty little buggers. Ouch. Dang it. I'm trying to grab them at the bottom, but this one has pricklies pretty far down. Okay, that one didn't stick into me though. All right. Another little guy growing here. That one's not prickly, but we don't need that in there. That's not a strawberry. All right, another stake. My husband can get back for other things. Come on now. There he is. Okay. I think that is it, but yeah, look, we got some strawberries growing here. Oh, no, here's another one. All right, is that it? Got some other weeds growing in there, but the strawberries can take care of those. That's not a big deal. Okay. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stakes. We'll try it. Now, looking at these bamboo stakes, I do want to pull out the ones that I want to use for the tomatoes. Let's take the sticker off. Get my snips that I got out in case I did use the chicken wire. Get the zip ties off. Now they did have like some actual garden stakes and they did have more tomato cages, but the tomato there has already kind of insinuated itself into that trellis, so I don't want to try to untangle it. But we'll just take 2 of these out, kind of 2 of the thicker looking ones. All right, let's see, is this one thicker throughout? Yeah, this one gets a little thin at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna go take these over for the tomato. Okay, now, I mean, I think they'll be fine if they're this height, maybe just a little bit taller. Can I do them? I have my cutters here, so let's just oops, sorry jalapenos. Cut there and kind of make them about the same length. Make this one a little bit. Okay. That one's a little bit longer, but it doesn't need to be exact. Okay. And then I need a couple more. All right. Easy peasy. I like that. Let's shove these in here. Ground's a lot softer there. Might need to switch that one out for a taller one. There we go. Okay. Let's see how much of this we have to work with. all scraggly. All right, let's just see how it goes. Oh gosh, I must know one of these prickly bees. Where is it? Get out of there. And I just kind of want to tuck this under. Let's see. Okay, and I can get that tucked under. Yeah, it's not going to be able to protect the front bit. Okay, so what I want to try now is I want to try with some of the chicken wire and see how that does. Dang it, I found another one of the little prickly guys over there. Now, what I thought with the, come on out, bamboo, where is this guy? What I thought with the bamboo, and I hope I cut it long enough, but if not, that's okay. We've got more that we can work with. Is that with chicken wire, I hope just to weave this through the chicken wire. And then I can kind of shape the chicken wire how I need to. Oh, it was in fact already open. Let's see. Now, I did get 50 feet of this, which was kind of an excessive amount, but I think my husband was talking about doing panels over there in front of the other vegetables, and he's talking about maybe planting a couple of jalapenos in front of the tomatoes, which they've shared a bed in the past. Oh my gosh, please come off. I like, instead of calling this chicken wire, they call it poultry netting. All right. It is also bound by wire, so let me see if I can see where that wire ends. So this one here. There's one end. Okay, good. All right, fantastic. We can use that wire for something, certainly. Apologies if I just hit you. I may have. All right. Now, chicken wire, I'm hoping, is going to be a bit more flexible than the other kind of wire we've had in the past. This is just absolutely wanting to unroll itself. So, get this trash tossed aside, and I'm going to move these. I'm going to go ahead and take these weeds in so that I can work there if I need to. cleaning as I go, so to speak. Also, I just don't want to poke myself on them again. Let's see. Luckily, they kind of stick together, but okay, here we go. Okay, now this isn't tall, it's only 2 feet tall, but that's fine. So let me actually see. I can. Oh yeah. Try to get it in here. Oops, let's try to go straight, Sarah. That way it'll be about the same height. All right. Maybe do that a little bit further down. All right. So I'm gonna, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm gonna leave part of this out. I'm actually gonna start over there because of how it was rolled. It's gonna naturally want to curve this way. Because it just sprang away from me. So I'm gonna take these out. Right. Are you going to stay up? Probably not. Do I just need to cut a length so it's easier to work with? I think that is the answer. All right, there. I'm gonna stick this in here so I can have an anchor point. Okay. Unroll a little bit more because I definitely do not want to cut it too short. All right. We're gonna say about there. And I am going to use my snips and just cut it. I will say this chicken wire, even though it's like wanting to roll on itself, the other stuff we used for the our old enclosures was much stiffer to work with. So I have a feeling, there we go, that this is going to be a little bit easier to deal with. Okay. Also a good reason for wearing pants. I'm just gonna fold the sharp ends over so they're not sticking out. I hope this is at least semi-relaxing for you guys, spending some time outside together, looking at the plants. Honestly, I like the chicken wire a little bit better than the cloth because then insects will be able to get in. Birds will also, but if we need to, we can always put more on the top. All right, let's just let that do its thing there. Stay. Put one of these that I'm not using here. Of course, I picked the tiniest one, but there we go. Okay. Let's go back over here. See if I can get this in a little bit better spot. There we go. And this can just kind of sit where it needs to in here, hopefully. There we go, that's a little bit better. All right. Guys, some of the cars here are so loud. I don't know how well that picks up on the mic or not. Yeah, okay. Probably could have unrolled it and pressed it flat before doing this, but I'm already in the middle, and that thought's a little bit too late for me to stop and go back. What I can do is start putting these other stakes in, though. Okay. All right, you just want to fall there, so let's just... Maybe that leaning against it will help. All right. Let's try making sure that this does not damage the strawberries. Another one. Can go out a little bit. I think that would help. There we go. Chill out, please. Nope, it's just not going to do it. Sorry, frustrated. All right. Oops, it's stuck on tightens. Sure that gets in there. Absolutely about to spill the string, so let's move it. Oh, there we go. That's not too bad. All right. Come on in, strawberries. I'm sorry, you're probably getting kind of bruised up on your leaves. Trying to help. Well, I guess you don't care if the bunnies or the squirrels get your strawberries or if we do you? So, sorry for the abuse. All right. Another stick. Go. Let's see. A little bit lower down. working up a sweat. Although it feels a little bit good since I haven't been able to exercise for so dang long. Freaking back getting old. Don't like that crap. Okay. So we need to, where'd my clippers go? Cut. Here is probably good. Okay. The squat position. My new friend. I hate getting old, y'all. I am hoping through this PT though that I improve my posture as well, because my posture has been atrocious from breastfeeding the kids. And I see it in these videos all the time, and you know how everyone always has that one thing about themselves that bothers them? Well, it bothers me when I see that in videos, how poor my posture's become, because I grew up dancing and my posture used to be like amazing, to the point where people actually commented on how great of posture I had in like mixed settings, which maybe that's a weird thing to be proud of, but it always felt nice to me to have people say that. All right, I guess we're gonna start down here. So yeah, I guess it's a weird thing to be proud of, but make sure it's going on the inside here. Oops. Landscaping stone there, apparently. That's no good. Let me see if I can do it over here to avoid that landscaping stone. I do like that I can just weave these in and out without having to like otherwise find a way to attach them. That's pretty sweet. And the continued wonderful smell of the I feel like that's crowding them a little bit. Oh, the gardenia is wonderful. Maybe, all right, I want to give them a little bit more room. Let's have a bigger bend here so that they have a little bit more room to breathe. Okay. Yeah, good. That's better. Like that better. And yes, they're up above here, but hopefully that will encourage them to grow upward. All right, well, we will see how that works. Just gonna fold this over a little bit. We'll see how it works. I know they could like totally come up here and jump off. Or I guess go in this gap here. But if that's so, we can figure out a top for it. But that'll at least keep them from getting easy access from the side. So we'll see what my husband thinks about that, how he wants to improve on that. I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna get a drink here, and then we'll move on to the tomato plants. I don't know that I'm going to do any more weeding than like the prickly bits that I weeded in here. So let me get a drink. These were on sale at the Food Lion. Waterloo sparkling water, cherry limeade, recommend. They're pretty tasty. Oh yeah, I did want to get that vine out of there before it choked out the gardenia. Let's clip that real quick. Hardest part about this is locating it and then making sure there aren't any snakes down here to bite me. It's a prickly one. Get out these couple prickly ones. Sorry, I'm probably hitting the crap out of this microphone. All right, we got a few vines happening down here, so let me just snip them at the bottom. They just haven't matured yet. All right. The big guy has kind of a purpley stem. I think I just got bitten through my pants. That's fantastic. By a mosquito, not a snake, since we were just talking about snakes. Oh, there it is. There it is. Have to be careful snipping in here. All right. Sorry, gardenia. I know it's got its little tendrils around you. Come on. Luckily, gardenias are pretty hardy. Whew. Did break off that one. You just snip that off. Sorry, guy. Probably wouldn't have grown much anyway. Bring that in, put that in some water. Be beautiful. All right, that's taken care of. Let's move over to the tomatoes. Keep that guy separate. Beautiful. Got my garden twine and got my little snips. Let's see. I'm gonna move these tomato signs out a little farther so I can actually read what they are, even though I pretty much know which plant is which now. All right. Put that one there. And put this one about here. Perfect. And take off the gloves so that this is not impossible to open. And I probably already had some twine in the house, but I like to use that for wrapping. So I don't know why they dyed the screen. That seems unnecessary, but this is what was there. All right, perfect. Maybe I'll just tie this on the best way to do this. We're just gonna try it. I'm not a knot person, so don't come after me for these knots, okay? No, definitely didn't tie that one tight enough. I think I'm just going to find a spot to step in here where there aren't plants. And try to go through the trellis back here a bit. Come on now. Luckily, the front of this bed is not planted. All right. Good. I got that in the lower part. You belong to this guy. Let's see if I can tuck you in there. Perfect. Right. And I think I'm just gonna kind of try to spiral wrap this around. Getting it through some critical points on the trellis here to keep it in place and not slide up too much. All right, where am I catching that one? Maybe also go around these a little bit. Let that guy rest there. And I'm just gonna tie it around the trellis, I think. Call it a day. My little snips. Ugh. There you go. All right. Is it the most beautiful thing on earth? No. Is it the sturdiest thing on earth? Also no. But you know what? That tomato plant has way more support than it did about 2 minutes ago. So I'm happy with that. I got this guy kind of tucked up to be supported a little bit more. Maybe we'll let some of these guys come out. All right, guys, I'm going to take you around again just to get nice feel-good feelings about what we did with the garden here. Weeding will have to be another time. Figuring out the strawberries took me a little bit longer than I thought it might. Isn't that always the case? Sorry for all the ums too. I realize I'm saying that a lot. So excited for these guys though. Oh, we'll try to see if we can get a better view of those tomatoes this time around now that it's a little bit better supported. These guys are trying to be friends over here. No, if we should allow that to happen. All right, let me get my stuff cleaned up and I'll take you around. All right, y'all, let's take a look at what we did. weeded up here by the pepper some to get all the prickly bits out. We now have this chicken wire surround around our lovely, precious strawberries. And I told you I'd show them a little bit closer before, so it's gonna be a strawberry. Look at that bunch growing. Lovely bunch right here. And some more growing over there. It looks so much better without all the prickly weeds in here too. That was much overdue. All right, no more vine in my ginormous gardenia bush. I guess I need to look up how to cut that back because this is the access to our crawl space. So that needs to be kept free. But I'm gonna let it go for now. Lovely. And then the tomatoes. We got this guy handled a bit so he's not falling everywhere. And let's look at these tomatoes. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Let's see, where are some others? These little guys are just getting started. You can still see the old flower on that one. Let's see if we can get to these over here at all. Goodness gracious. There you go. Beautiful. That's the big boy so far that's growing. It's a little bit hard to tell size, I'm sure, but that's way larger than a cherry tomato would ever get. And the shape looks like kind of the ones on the vine that you can buy at the store. And lots more blooms happening here. Well, here's a really new baby one. Gorgeous. The beautiful flowers and carrots. This is a very messy, realistic garden of a very amateur gardener who just wants to have some fresh produce, some flowers, and start teaching her kids about where food comes from. The peppers, bed with the blueberries and the herbs, looking fantastic. Just as a final treat for y'all, and as a thank you for watching, this is my daughter's wind chime. We love it. If you enjoyed the content today, please give it a like, a subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I post content. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.